The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I will remind you to go to stewart.com/radio. That's right. You can go there to hear and see the show and check out past episodes for the last couple years. That's right. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. So today, once again, we'll go forth to entertain, inform, and even inspire. We try to do that every week. And today we have super guests, as always. We're going to talk to real estate professionals. And, of course, we always have an insurance segment, and we will even talk to one or two of our Stewart Title BDOs. That's Business Development Officers. But first, we're going to talk to Jennifer Burnley. She is with ERA Legacy Living right here in the Houston area. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Ooh, thank you so much to you and Joyce for having me today. I am so excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you. And as you mentioned, Joyce, she is one of our business development officers in the Katy area and the Fulshire area. So we're glad that she invited you here today. It will be fun. I liked how you started with all that energy, Jennifer.
Yes, of course.
Well, let's tell people, you are with ERA Legacy Living. Let's tell people the area that you're serving, where your office is, and kind of how the market is right now.
Okay, so ERA Legacy Living, we have two locations, one in Richmond and in Riverstone. So we mainly do business in Fort Bend, but as realtors, we always are everywhere. Mainly in Fort Bend. The market is still pretty good for us because we are on one of the suburbs of Houston. So people are still trying to move from downtown area, midtown area to being up there, like Richmond, Rosenberg, Katy area as well.
That's interesting you say that because that's what I did. I moved from the city, the uptown area, actually many years ago, and I'm in the Katy area. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So you're finding people leaving the city, or we'll call it the city, inside the loop or near the loop, and they're moving to the suburbs. That's happening to what degree?
Yes, they are because it will cost you almost double the price for a house over there just to be close to work rather than get a nicer home with more space, lot space, especially in the suburbs and dealing with the traffic and all of that.
And also, what about a backyard? We're more likely, I'm guessing, to have a backyard in Fort Bend, Sugar Land, Katy than we are to have one inside the loop.
Yeah, inside the loop, like Galleria, Midtown, downtown, you can just have like pets, right? Like pets,
read my mind.
And all of that. But whenever you start having kids and forming your own family, you want to move closer to a subdivision that has the amenities and the peace of mind that your family is going to be safe.
So let the word go forth. If you're in the city, how about having a backyard? Call Jennifer right now. You too can have a backyard for your children and pets.
Exactly.
Or in my case, just the pets.
Just a pet.
and that's seriously, that is one of, I lived in a townhouse, well, a patio home, we'll call it, that had no backyard with two dogs. So every time you let the dog, you have to go out, put the leash and all that. But now that was one of my motivations to move to the suburbs. I have a big backyard. Just let the dogs out.
You can let them go. And they do their thing and they play.
They play. They have a good time. There's no doubt about that. Also, let's tell people, let's tell people where you're from because it's very interesting. Not often do we meet people from
Lima, Peru.
Lima, Peru.
Yes, that's where I was born and raised. Came to the States at the age of 18, 19 to continue my bachelor degree in computer science, finishing in Alaska, actually. And then in 2012 is where I moved to Houston. And I've always lived in the Fort Bend area as well. I moved to Missouri City, then Sugar Land, and now I'm in the Richmond area.
Okay, so from Lima, Peru, what was your first stop here in the United States, and what year was that?
It was 2008. It was Fairbanks, Alaska.
So first we can do it. I think we can go about an hour just on that. Many people haven't been to Peru. That's one thing. Many people haven't been to Alaska either. Give us, how long were you in Alaska?
I was there for 2.5 years, almost 3.
Oh, my goodness. What was that like? I mean, their whole sun coming up and down is a whole nother program, right?
It is summer. In the summer, it's daylight. In the winter, it's nighttime most of the day.
And when it's winter, it's really winter, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Yes, I got, believe it or not, I don't know if it was because I was young or willing to adventures and everything, but it wasn't a shocker for me. Like, I would sleep at my hours, and I adjusted pretty well.
were you ever on a snowmobile?
Yes, of course.
Excuse me. Yeah, of course. Wow, if I had to figure that was going to be a yes
Snowmobile.
answer, but
Yeah.
that has to be fun. I love the winter activities.
They are fun. Ice fishing is good.
You did
a
ice
lot
fishing?
of outside activities there. I used to do them over there. I don't do them here now,
So
though.
that was a great. You were there long enough to know what life in Alaska was like. 2 years, right?
Yes.
So from Alaska, what was your next stop?
It
Because
was
that-
Utah for a couple of years.
Beautiful states.
Yes, mountains, lot of scenery. It was pretty good.
And then when did you get to Houston? Now there's a whole different weather pattern than where you've been.
I've been so used to the winter times, winter weather. Like, so when I came to Houston, it was June 2012. Yeah,
Not that long
was,
ago, really.
Yeah, 10 years.
Well, 10 years, time's flying.
Yes.
So 2012. So that was a dramatic weather difference.
It was a shock. I couldn't be outside for long.
So how do you feel about the heat and humidity now?
I still can.
You're
take
with
it.
me. I
I still can't take it.
It's very, very hard. I've been in Houston since,
Yes.
I won't say when, a long time, several decades. And one of the things, and people are still coming to Houston, I believe, for this reason, because of the economic opportunities we have that I've enjoyed, that you're enjoying, and many others. However, that's the one thing I still struggle with is the heat and humidity.
I love Houston. I love the diversity, everything. You have everything close by, all the people, everything is good. But just take that humidity away.
There you go. We might have to have a second house, and I don't know. I think I'm not going to go Alaska. I'll go Utah, maybe.
Yes.
But okay, so let's tell people of all the things you could be doing. Here you are with this worldly experience. You're seeing things. That's an education most people you just can't get unless you do it. But how did you choose real estate as your profession?
Well, when I came to Houston, I did banking for 4 years. And that's when I discovered that I really enjoyed helping people, helping customers. And most of them asked me questions about homes, like how to get a loan. And that's where I became more knowledgeable. Had some clients that were real estate agents and asked them some questions on how to get started. So my area president told me I had to find my replacement because I was pretty good in that area as well. I did, and I started my real estate courses, classes, and my license.
So here you are. You're enjoying it.
Yes, that was 2008.
And from that time till now, the real estate world, and of course it's changed just in the last 6 months. So, but you have to be dynamic, and the market is dynamic. You have to be nimble to be able to go with the changes. It's been fascinating, I guess.
It has. I started June 2018, so I got a little bit of, the market was pretty decent then. Not too crazy, but then the pandemic happened a couple of years later, and yeah, we had a great year. Everybody did, and now it's becoming to seem like where we were before.
So right now, for people listening, and again, you're servicing mostly the Fort Bend area, and we'll call that Sugarland?
Sugarland,
Katy.
Richmond, Katy, Rosenberg.
So as you're out there now, people that may want to buy or sell in that area, what should they expect, let's say, if they're a seller?
If they're a seller, they should really have a professional, a real estate agent.
They should call
guide
you,
them,
of course,
right?
right.
Exactly. Price it as market price. Don't the time that we were used to put it
That's over.
on top of the market. Yeah, that's over. Just concentrating putting it on market rate, and you have more. You're gonna have more opportunities to sell your home in this market.
And then people that want to buy in the areas that you're serving, what would you tell them?
I tell them to do what is right for them. If they can afford it right now and they can do it, to do it instead of waiting, especially the ones that are leasing. The people that are moving from other cities or relocation, this is a great time for them as well.
The other thing I saw as I was doing some research, your technology skills, I think, are above average. So you're involved in technology. Let's tell people how working with technology are helping the buyers and sellers that you're serving, and some of the things that you're doing.
So I put technology in my career pretty good. Like under searches, for example, I am big on education, especially for my buyers. 75% of my buyers are first-time home buyers. So I love to guide them the way they should purchase and giving them the tools. So by giving them the tools is the searches where they can find the homes, which is through HR, and I customize it as much as I can to give them the best opportunity for them to see homes. There's calculators, right, that can give them an average that so for them to see where is it that they're gonna be at. It's pretty much the tools that I give them for them.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
Now, before we close the segment, what else do you want people to know about what you're doing or how you can help them? We're talking with Jennifer Burnley with ERA Legacy Living.
Yes, so I'm Jennifer Burnley. I am with the Wincy Group. I have a great team that we serve mainly for Ben, but everywhere we've sold homes in Galveston and up to Sealy. So everywhere you need help with, you can reach out to me at 832-315-8642. You can send me an email or text on my social medias as well.
And also, give us a quick word as far as real estate. We think about real estate. I mean, people that love real estate wonder what's happening in other areas. First of all, if someone's in Lima, you mentioned that you were back in Lima back in July of this year.
Yes.
So as far as buying and selling real estate, how different is it there, or is it pretty much the same thing when they buy and sell over there? They have real estate professionals, right?
They have real estate professionals. We don't have that much land because Lima has all the people from the different cities. They all want to go to the capital. So we have.
And is Lima the capital?
Yes. So we have a lot of population. So
crowded.
We don't have a lot of land. So everything is up. Everything is high risers. So the price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom is going to cost you the same as you would pay for a home in here.
That's and what about pricing? Let's say a 2-bedroom in a high rise in a nice part of the city, about how much would that be when you do the exchange rate?
That's about $200 to $250.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So, and then you pay your homeowner's dues and all that, and there you go.
Exactly.
And I think you said earlier the food is very, very good there.
The food is amazing. You have to try
Lima.
it in Lima.
Quick word on Alaska. How's the food in Alaska? A lot of salmon?
A lot of seafood, yes.
But not as delicious, I'm guessing. I don't know.
It is pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it is pretty good. There's more variety. It's bigger.
Well, I would think
the
there's
lobster,
not much to do up there, so you got to focus on something.
You got to focus on doing outside activities like camping and ice fishing and going in the snowmobile.
I want to go on the snowmobile.
Skating.
What about dog sleds?
They have the dog sled.
Did you do that?
There's in June. I didn't do that, but I watch it.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
Jennifer Burnley with ERA Legacy Living. Jennifer, let's tell people once again how they can reach you.
Call me, text me. My number is 832-315-8642.
That's 312-315-8642. Jennifer Burnley. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
As we continue, here he is, Hunter Malik with eXp Realty. Hunter, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, man? Happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. And of course, Clarissa and Susan brought you here all the way from
Seabrook, Texas.
Seabrook, Texas. That sounds like a seafaring town right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lots of boats.
Well, let's tell people, and that's one of the nice things. I think that Houston offers so many different lifestyles, and there you are around the water and those sorts of things. Let's tell people, first of all, Hunter, about your company.
Well, I own a couple companies. Co-own a real estate team called the Bayside Realty Group. It's about 5 agents, and I co-own that with a guy named William Schulte. He and I do a lot of helping people buy and sell their homes, doing residential type stuff. And then I also own a different company that I really focus on, I'd say, is investing in real estate, flipping houses. That company is called Malik Acquisitions and Investments. I know it's a super fun name.
It is.
Straight to the point there.
Just hearing that. I mean, I know the listeners out there, hey, that sounds like fun. Well, so of all your real estate activities, the one you do the most is the investing.
Investing, flipping homes.
And that's the flipping. Well, that's a very interesting subject. We haven't talked about that in a long time. And right now, like any part of real estate, the flipping of homes, there's different seasons, there's better times,
Absolutely.
good times. What's it like right now for someone that says, or like you're going to buy a home, right, and flip it?
I would say going into winter is always a slower season for selling homes. That's just how it's always been. So I'm still buying right now, but I'm holding on to them a little bit longer going into March. So that way, when I do sell these homes, that they move a little bit quicker, a little bit higher price point. Now with the way the market is right now, I mean, I still think it's going to hold strong, still fairly strong going into the new year. I'm not slowing down my buying at all.
We're going to call this the Malik forecast portion of the show,
yeah,
right?
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. I think this is going to hold strong. I think that the homes are going to sell fairly quickly, and I still think we're going to be getting good price points, and I think it's a good time to buy and sell.
All right, well, let's take an anatomy of one flip, right? Okay. Is there any that you're in the process?
Several.
Okay, let's just take one and pick one that...
I'm going to cherry pick one. I
just pick one that might be a good story here. So without giving addresses and so forth, but let's say you just bought one.
Just bought one.
All right, so you bought one. What was the price point?
$1.3 million on the ARV, the after renovation value.
Okay, so you bought it. You want to sell it for 1.3.
That's the selling price. Yes, I bought it for $670,000.
And how long ago did you buy it?
I bought it 2 weeks ago with a couple great partners. William Schulte, the guy that I own my realtor company with, he has gotten into investing with me. And then I also have an outside partner that's my capital guy, my money guy.
All right, so you looked at this home, $670,000. Mm-hmm. What was it about it? How did you know that this would be a good home to buy, to turn around and flip it? And that's really, you want to double your price. So what was the condition of the home?
It was actually in excellent shape.
What?
It was in excellent shape. It's pre-foreclosure, so it was going into foreclosure. The people that were selling the home, it was actually a really tough situation. I was probably going to buy it one way or another just to help them out of that situation. Got a really good relationship with him and ran my numbers, and $670,000 was the number that spit out. When you're flipping homes, you typically want to do 70% of the after renovation value minus the cost of construction to rehab it, get it top of market, and that's your purchase price.
And how do you figure, first of all, before you get to the renovation estimation, you would do what normal people do, or what a normal transaction, so to speak, is you got the property inspected, I guess? Or
well,
you're already
I'm kind of the inspector.
Okay,
I've been doing this long enough to understand cost of construction.
We leave it to the professionals. Don't try it at home, but
yeah, that's very true.
You have enough experience. You can look at it and you can say, hey, this needs a new air conditioner.
Absolutely. And that definitely wasn't true in the beginning.
Right. Or if there's a foundation problem, you could have some skills to know about that. But you can size it up pretty well, it sounds like.
I hope so. I think so. Yeah. I've been doing this long enough. Definitely in the beginning. If you're looking to get into flipping homes, definitely get it inspected before you purchase anything. Call me. I'd be happy to walk it with you and tell you what I would pay for it. If you're going to start flipping homes, it's definitely a confusing process. I mean, shoot, I have high blood pressure at 22 years old, so it's definitely a stressful process. But once you get,
you're 22?
I am.
Get out.
No.
Just a youngster. Keep going. Keep going. We want to know more.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're looking to get into flipping homes, give me a call. I'd be happy to help you out. It's a stressful process, but it's also the most rewarding process I've ever experienced.
All right, so here you are. You bought it. You know what it needs. Now, when are you going to make the renovations?
Oh, we started today. Today was the first day of construction on this one.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're very excited.
And the renovations you estimate will be finished when?
We're looking at about a 4 to 6 week turnaround on it.
It's not that bad.
No. We're actually, this home is in excellent shape, but when you're buying with this high of an ARV, remember, again, that's the after renovation value.
That is high.
It's extremely high price point at $1.3 million for a standard flip, right? And so we're actually going to still throw, even though this house is livable, we're still throwing about $100,000 into it. So we'll be all into this one, probably around $770,000. Our outside investor, who is paid for everything, he's going to get about $100,000 for giving us this much money,
his investment,
and then the rest of the profit, which we're looking about $500,000 in profit. That's for the flipper.
Now, when you have it ready to go, are you going to list the house?
Yes, through my company, through my base.
Guess who's the listing agent?
Yeah,
Hunter Malik.
Saves us a little bit of money on closing costs. Yeah,
Stuart, we got a good title company for you too. By the way,
absolutely. I take all my stuff to you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. But that's very exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah, and I try to keep about anywhere from 4 to 11 properties being flipped at all times. That's kind of the. I know it's a large variance there, but it's a sweet spot number.
All right, give us a quick example of one that's a lower price one. Maybe in the do you do any in the 300s or you?
I do a lot in the 200s.
Is that the bread and butter?
I would say the bread and butter is absolutely with an ARV of around 250. That's they don't exist anymore. If you can find a good 1,400 square foot home in Deer Park, Texas, little 2-1, 3-2, and you can sell that sucker for $250,000 and buy it for $80,000. I mean, that's the sweet spot.
So that's a bread and butter kind of deal.
Absolutely. I have one exactly like that right now. So if you can find those deals, I mean, the profit margin is, I mean, it's anywhere from the 40 to 80 to even $100,000 range, and you're tying up no cash. That's the way to do it.
So it sounds also like if there's someone out there that wants to sell their property, you might be interested in looking at it.
I'm interested in buying anything and everything. I mean, y'all have heard now that I buy homes in the $100,000 range and I buy homes in the $700,000 range. So, I mean, I really, as long as the numbers, that 70% of the ARV minus cost construction lines up, I'll buy anything and everything. And that includes multifamily. Now you evaluate those a little bit different, but.
Well, let's stay with the single family. Yeah. That's kind of interesting. There's a lot of companies out there wanting to buy your home. The bigger companies, people like you, the smaller investment companies.
Absolutely.
So what is the distinction when I'm thinking I don't want to go through the regular listing kind of thing where I want to make it easy for whatever reason? I say, hey, Hunter, you want to buy my home? What's the distinction that you bring? In terms of buying,
there's a couple. You have your bigger companies, and then you have the regular buying and selling process. In regards to the regular buying and selling process, the thing I bring to the table is convenience. I'm able to close in 3 days, even as long as title's ready, which we always know Stewart Title's always ready. So
be prepared. We're always ready.
Always ready. So I've closed a home in 48 hours with you guys. So I'm able to get in there and get out as quick as possible. So. That's the distinction I bring in that regard. Now, as far as the bigger companies that are buying homes, I bring a personal touch to it. I always, help pay for moving. A lot of these people that are selling their home this quick need to get out of there.
And we could talk to the same guy all the time.
All the time. I'm the point of contact for every single
And you're
factor.
local.
Very local, yeah. So as far as, I think it's definitely the easiest to sell to me, but I'm a little bit biased. So as far as the regular buying and selling process, it typically takes anywhere from 30 to 45 days to sell your home. And that's after you've got it under contract with a buyer. So, I mean, you can have it sit on the market.
That could take a lot of time.
And I list homes too. I mean, I enjoy the listing side of things.
You love real estate, don't you?
I love real estate.
As we mentioned, always ready. That is the actual motto of the United States Coast Guard. And in Latin, just like the Marine Corps is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, the Coast Guard is Semper Paratus, always ready.
I love it.
So there you go. You're only 22?
Yes, sir.
When did you start? When was your interest in real estate? When did that begin? And when did you actually start doing things transactionally in real estate?
Might take up your whole day here.
Well, just tell us in a minute. No.
Yeah. So I started my first company at 19. Dropped out of college. I was playing baseball, got hurt, and went and started my first company. It was a landscaping, architecture, and design company. It wasn't mowing lawns. People always get that confused. We did design flower beds for luxury pool companies. That's basically what we did. I met a man named James Stoller, who a lot of people in this area know. He's a really good friend of mine. He started lending money out, and I met him when he was first started his lending company. And I wanted $2 million. I was 19 years old. I wanted to build a storage facility with another friend of mine who was doing decently well for the age group that we were in. Anyway, I called him, said I wanted to build a storage facility. He said, "Okay, come meet me at the office." And when my 19-year-old self walked in there, he said, "There is no way I'm giving you $2 million, but
Wait a minute.
you have a little bit of money that you've saved up. If you want to go flip a house, I'll lend to you." And so I just thought it was an interesting concept. I had met Chip Gaines from Fixer Upper a long time ago, and so I thought it was an interesting field to get into. But man, when I went looking for that first flip, I fell in love with it, got my real estate license, sold off my companies, I had a few at the time, and went full-time into real estate. And that is, I have never looked back. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And you can all buy Hunter's book, My First Flip, on Amazon anytime you want. Tell us real quick about the first flip. How much was it, and how did that work? That must have been exciting.
Well,
were you super excited?
I was incredibly excited. I did it with a really good friend of mine. We partnered together, who he was already actually in real estate, but we actually took a loss on our first flip. We didn't know what we were doing, but I'll tell you what, that first flip turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into 4, turned into 20.
Why did you lose?
We didn't know what we were doing. We jumped in, didn't get
How
the
much
property
did you pay
inspected.
for the property?
We paid $205,000.
All right. So,
or I'm sorry, $170,000.
170.
Yeah.
You buy it. 19 years old.
Needed,
then what happened?
Needed $20,000 in renovations, or so we thought, because we didn't get the property inspected. Let me be very clear: if you don't know what you're doing, get the property inspected.
Absolutely.
We thought we were going to be into it 190, and it was worth 230. So it was already tight numbers, already very tight numbers. After closing costs, the net wasn't there. But we were just so anxious to jump in and get going. You know, we would have taken on really anything.
Right. Well, you're paying for your education too.
Absolutely. So we ended up putting, I think, 35 into it, and it sold for less than what we thought it would. And we ended up taking, I think, a $2,000 loss. So we actually got away pretty much unscathed, but it was.
There's your education.
Yeah. So you need to know what you're doing. You need to partner with people that are actually in the industry. And you need.
But you were glad you sold it that first time. When you finally sold it, it's like, okay, we cut our losses.
It was a joyous day when we sold that property, even though we ended up paying a little.
The second flip, did you make money on that one?
Did, yes.
So there you are. So now that's a good track record.
Yeah. When we got in, it was a one in Baytown, and I think we only made like $16,000, but it was it was something, and we had finally made money in real estate, and that's when we got really excited.
Okay. You started out talking about a $670,000 property that you hope to sell for 1.2. What was your first higher dollar transaction flip besides this one?
Well, I guess the highest number, the highest ARV would have been $420,000. So this is my first luxury.
Okay.
This is my first luxury.
And let's tell people again what ARV is.
ARV is after renovation value. So that's what the home is worth top of market once it's been completely rehabbed. All the construction's done and the home looks like a brand new.
The other things you're doing in real estate. You're in the Bay Area. Let's tell people the market. If you were to give a report on the market conditions in the Bay Area, what would you be saying?
They're still moving. I actually just sold a condo in 12 hours. So, I mean, and we had multiple offers on it.
Where do you live, by the way?
I actually live in Deer Park. Okay. Deer Park, LaPorte, Pasadena area. So
you're close to the action.
Absolutely. And I'd say the suburbs is really still moving. Now, if you're getting over the $350,000 price point, they're still moving. They're just sitting a little bit longer now with the higher interest rates, but everything's still moving. It's still a good time to buy. It's still good.
You're not worried about the high interest rates, are you?
I'm really not.
Or are you?
We're just getting back to where we were before COVID. So
we're talking to Hunter Malik, eXp Realty. Okay, you're 22 years old. I don't want to dwell on that, but you're doing really well. You're excited about what you're doing, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Number two, where are you going to be when you're 44?
Oh, man.
Holy smokes. I mean, after the show here, you may be buying your own radio communications company. I mean, I don't know. Big things are ahead, Hunter. I'm feeling it.
At 44, I hope I'm a good father and a good husband. That's all I really want. So as long as I'm doing that and keeping my faith at the forefront and my family first, I think I'll be doing okay. Well, if you're looking to buy or sell, give me a call, 713-503-2583. I bring a unique factor is I can buy your home myself, or I can help you list it if that's the route you want to go. So give me a call anytime.
And give us a couple bullet points. Let's say someone is out there or someone's already in the home flipping business. We always learn from people. We could be doing something 100 times and we still are learning. Absolutely. And the smart people are always looking for ways to learn. So if you were to the first chapter, if you were to write a book about home flipping or an article about it, what would be in the first chapter, the first couple things to do when you look at that property? And let's put another element here. It's not a distressed property. It's just a property that you want to buy, and you may not want to flip it right away, but in a couple months. What are you looking for when you walk up to that?
Well, so I'm looking for purchase price. You need to know your after renovation value if you know your after renovation value and you know how much the house needs, you're going to be able to know whether or not it's a good deal. And another thing I put in that first chapter: surround yourself with people in the industry. If you're surrounded with people in the industry that are like-minded, that are looking to become successful, that is going to be your number one thing right there. You surround yourself with people that are like-minded.
And you have to buy right, though.
You make your money when you buy.
So even if I'm a buyer just buying my own home, buying right is so important.
Oh, absolutely. Whether if you're investing in real estate to create rental income, to flip homes, or if you're buying for your homestead, I mean, you have to buy deep. Find a way to buy deep.
There he is, Hunter Malik, eXp Realty. Hunter, let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
You can reach me anytime on my cell number, 713-503-2583. Call or text anytime.
Hunter Malik at 713-503-2583. Hunter, thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much, man. Had a great time.
As we continue, it's time to talk to Stewart Title Business Development Officers. That's right. If you're in the real estate world, you're a real estate professional here in Houston or really anywhere else, I always say stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officers because they can be tremendous resources. They are tremendous resources all across the land, especially right here in Houston, Texas. We now have Susan Bottoms and Clarissa Mendez is back. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you
Hey,
for having
Bill.
us, Bill.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Well, it's been a while, Susan. You haven't been with us for a while, but we're glad you're here today.
Have you missed me?
Tons, absolutely.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I've missed it too. Just staying so busy and having events, and I have Monday morning meetings, every Monday. I did skip today to make sure I'm here with you and Malik. Hunter.
Hunter, that's right. Well, his last name's Malik.
Yeah.
You know, it
I
could
like
be
that
Malik,
last name.
Malik Hunter, right?
Malik
It
Hunter.
works either way.
Yes.
So in the meantime, let's tell people the office that you represent for Stewart Title.
I'm Stewart Title Clear Lake off of Space Center, and we're holding
That's
steady.
Space Center Boulevard for
Space
those.
Center
Yeah.
Boulevard in, it's Houston, but it's Webster. But yeah, our office is holding steady with the orders and just kind of, things are down right now, but they're going to come back and we're just going to hold strong and hold tight and keep doing what we're doing.
Well, one of the things, especially for those that are listening outside of the Houston area, we know about it. It's always there, but we may not mention it. And even people outside of Houston, we have a space center. It's a big deal.
We do.
Right here in our city. That's one of the many big facets that make Houston distinctive. And that space center influences the real estate world, especially where you're talking about right there near the space center.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's got lots of tourism and bringing lots of people to the area. New companies, a lot of new companies from California. But I mean, it's just still booming, and the price points are going back where they need to be for the housing market, and so that's why you just have to stay steady and stay strong and do different avenues of your marketing and getting people and agents in the door.
One of the things, as far as being resources to real estate professional, Stewart Title business development people, you're also resources to investors and people in the real estate world in many professions.
Exactly. Yes. Hunter is one of our referred investors through James Toller's office, King James Lending. And
it's called King James Lending?
Yes.
That's a great name.
Yes, it is. And they have, really changed their referral status over to Stewart Title Clear Lake. And, it's been a great resource for us. And the agents that are coming through there, they're just not investors, but they are still real estate agents. And so we do Kelly and her team are doing their best to make sure that they're happy, that things flow smoothly. If it's cash and our foreclosures coming down to the deadline, she's making sure that they get taken care of and the clients get taken care of and the deals get done. And
well, one of the other things I want to tell people listening outside when they're listening on the internet in other cities, other states, and that is when we talk about the Space Center area where Stewart Title is and the Space Center, Ellington Field, all these great things that make Houston so unique. You are right in the middle of the city of Houston. So if you take a line and go from Houston, Texas to Galveston, the Space Center area and the marketplace where there's lots of water and homes on the water and condos on the water, it's a real unique area. I mean, you're right in the middle, so people can picture that wherever they're at in the United States.
Exactly, yes. Ellington Field is just not too far from the office, right up Highway 3. NASA Parkway is just maybe not leaving like 2 miles away from the office. And then the new projects going on at NASA in Ellington we're like right in the center corridor of all of it. So it's a great area, great growing area for all the, relocation of the other companies coming to the area and bringing their families. And it's a great place to be right now.
I hear they have great ice fishing down there, or not.
They do have an ice skating rink.
Oh, an ice skating, okay.
Right there off of 45, did.
I had a feeling you were going to come up with something good after when I said ice fishing. Yeah, there's an ice skating rink, right?
Yes, there is. Or there used to be.
In the meantime, let's tell people, Susan, the office number, if they want to tune in and be in touch with what you're doing there, because you may have classes coming up. We have Ted Jones events coming up this time of year, December, January-ish. So let's tell people how they can reach you, Susan Bottoms with Stewart Title.
Yes, my team and I are still hosting and getting ready for the end of the year, having big events coming up before then. And I'm at the Clear Lake office, Stewart Title Clear Lake, and my name is Susan Bottoms, 832-851-7935. 832-851-7935.
And then here she is, Clarissa Mendez. Clarissa, get a little bit closer here so you're in the center camera, that is. So let's remind people the office that you represent for Stewart Title.
I represent the Pearland office off of 288 and Broadway.
And Pearland, people love that area. And when we say Pearland, again, for those outside of Houston, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's pretty much directly south to the east a little bit.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That's a good way to put it, right?
Better than the way I said it last week.
I forgot. Oh, yes. In the meantime, though, that's right. Pearland, and then there's other places like Alvin and Friendswood, some of the towns that are just really tremendous little places.
And Alvin is my hometown, so I'm pretty biased about Alvin. Yes.
How about that?
Born and raised.
Well, in the marketplace right now, you're doing pretty well down there.
Yes. It is a bit slower, but people are still selling, and people are definitely still buying.
And there you go. As far as some of the things, you also have some things. We want to get people ready for Ted Jones. Those events come up usually in January. I don't know if you have those scheduled, but we also have Ted coming up on the show here in December.
He's scheduled for, is it January 17th?
17th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up. That's going to be a great thing. And then you do have other educational things. I heard you had John Bramlett at your office.
Yes, he is amazing. I will have him also the first week of November for Two Sides of Water. This is the second go around because it was so popular.
3rd?
Oh,
did I say it wrong?
November 3rd.
I'm sorry, I don't have my calendar in front of me. But I do have a lot of classes for agents in my area.
And that's one of his most popular classes. He has several. The Two Sides of Water is a hit.
Yes, that's why we brought it back. We had it in, and then we had a lot of people who missed it, and they really wanted to come. There was a waiting list, and by the time we call them in the morning, it's too late for them to get over there. So we're having this class again. Happy Halloween. Happy
Halloween. By the time, that's right, when they hear this show,
day.
It's the next day. It's Halloween, so that's going to be fun. Thank you so much. Let's tell people how they can reach you, Clarissa Mendez.
346-479-5387.
One more time.
346-479-5387.
Well, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance. John.
Bill, nice to be with you.
Here we are. I think I want to get in the investing business, or it might be too late for me. I don't know. But
I don't think it's ever too late. I think Hunter would coach us through pretty well.
Here we are, in every
Do you think
element.
we might get a discount since he was on Real Estate Matters? We might get a friend of the family discount, maybe.
Yes, even though I know his negotiation skills are huge, I bet he might work with us, John.
He might, yeah.
He's smiling over there.
Give us the knucklehead discount.
Right. So the one thing we know, whether buying or selling in real estate or the investors, there's no way we can escape the insurance element in home ownership and buying, selling, or anything else, or in anything in life. Driving, insurance is so important. That's why we look forward to this segment every week.
Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. And this week we're going to talk about the BOP.
The BOP.
The BOP.
Not the big bopper, but the BOP.
The BOP, yes.
And what is that?
The BOP is a business owner's policy, or you might hear it business owner's plan. And it bundles general liability insurance along with a commercial property insurance. And typically it can allow a smaller real estate firm the opportunity to have both policies where the premium would be cheaper combined than it would be if they were to purchase them separately.
That sounds like a very important policy.
It is, because it takes a look at, it helps protection against lawsuits over client injuries or property damage. It can help with lawsuits about advertising injuries or copyright infringement or damage of business property. So combining those two together can provide that in case there's damage to an individual, damage to the property, copyright infringement, an advertising injury we'll talk about in a second, or if there's damage to your business property. The key to keep in mind is that, especially in the real estate world, whether you're an investor, a broker, a real estate agent, a realtor, a property management firm, independent title attorney agent, if you think about it, we work with the public on a regular basis, and working with the public on a regular basis it increases our exposures to risk. So again, this is another tool that you have available to offset those risks. So if a third party files suit against you because of physical injury, let's say you're showing a home and they trip and fall, or you damage property. So you're staging a home. We were talking about staging earlier, and you stage a home and you break something of value, that there's coverage there to offset that cost of the damage to the property. Or if you have a lawsuit over advertising injuries or copyright infringement. So an advertising injury would be liable if there was written defamation or slander spoken defamation. So you have an employee that makes a false statement or a false claim on social media about, let's say, a competitor. And there's a lawsuit that comes off of that, or a claim that comes off of that, you would have some coverage. Or you use a photograph that you think would be fantastic to promote a neighborhood,
But
you don't have access to that photograph.
that's right.
So that would be a copyright infringement. So, that's where that would come into place. And then there's coverage for the damage of your business property. So your office furnishings, you have a fire and your servers and your computers and your desks are destroyed, or there's theft. Then you've got some protection for your business property as well.
When you mentioned, a couple things come to mind. When we think about copyright issues in the category of copyright, even when I produce this show, as far as those that have seen the YouTube video, and you can see them all at stewart.com/radio, all those introductions I make where there's video of homes or video of effects, those are all royalty free. The music that you hear as it transitions from guest to guest, those are all royalty free. So we've covered the base there. So just in this very own construction of the show, we're very mindful of that. Number two, I'm thinking, as the real estate professionals that are our guests and others, and those people that post on Facebook, as we all do, many of us, we have to be very careful what we post, what we say, based on what you're saying, because you just got to be careful when we're marketing or when we're talking about something or other people or companies are involved. So this is a good word, a good thing to be mindful of.
Absolutely. So it's, as you said, it's not only what we post, but how we post it and where we post it. So, what do we say about a community? What do we say about a piece of property? Heaven forbid if we were to say something negative about a competitor. So we just have to be careful about what we say and where we say it and how we say it. Also be careful about the tools that we use, because if we don't have the right to use those and we do so, then you're at the mercy of the owner of that photograph or that piece of music to what that cost for usage would be. And the same goes to the physical aspect of the job. So whether you're a property management firm and you're taking care of 17 doors, 200 doors, 2,000 doors.
A lot of responsibility.
A lot of responsibility. If you're a realtor, a real estate broker, and you're helping folks sell their home, so you're showing the home or you're helping stage a home, there's going to be opportunities where accidents could occur. Somebody trips and falls. Somebody slips. You break a vase. You knock over a photograph.
There might be a grand piano there. You have to be people putting a drink on a piano, a soda or something, and
Yeah, exactly. So, again, having that, understanding ways that you can minimize those risks are important. But equally important is how do you offset that risk? And, if you are a real estate business that has fewer than 100 employees, a smaller office or workspace, you make less than $1 million in gross commissionable revenues, there are opportunities where you can do a business owner's plan or a business owner's policy and potentially save some money on your premium versus buying them separately. Now, you can always buy each of those policies separately. So you can buy a general liability policy and you can buy a commercial property or a business owner's or business property plan as well. So you can buy those separately, but if you have the opportunity to do them together, save a little money, but still have the coverage that you need.
The key word there is be mindful of exposure. That's one of the things I'm taking away. So what I'm thinking right now is when I leave the house, when I'm at the office, when I'm here, wherever I'm at, and especially a real estate professional, just be mindful of where you're exposed and do you have insurance to augment that should you need it.
Absolutely. I mean, you should always be aware of your surroundings. So whether you're driving, walking, shopping, taking the dogs for a walk in the neighborhood, business situations, be mindful of your situation. But also, it's important, what can you do to minimize your risk? So to avoid, health costs, are you exercising? Are you eating right?
That's right.
To make sure that you don't, or to minimize the chance of having an automobile accident. Have you taken defensive driving? Are you a defensive driver? Do you consider when you drive and where you drive? So all those kinds of things you can do to help minimize, and then whether it be auto insurance or health insurance, or in the case of what we're talking about today, business owner's policy or business owner's plan, that can help offset that risk.
When you mentioned pets there, John, I've no lie, I have a friend, and his dog literally bit the mailman's pants, tore his pants. Yeah, it could have gotten his leg, but the dog was going for the leg, but it ripped his pants at the bottom.
Yeah,
so you have to be careful. And I know, like, not recently when I got the insurance plan with Stewart a few months ago, but one of the things they ask is, do you have pets? When you're going, like, of course, one of the first one is, it's like the doctor's office. What's your insurance? Hey, man, what's your insurance?
Yeah.
But with the insurance, it's, how old's your roof?
Yeah.
But then later they'll ask about pools and about, do you have a dog? Or
Absolutely. So an insurance company is going to make their decision on whether they're going to provide coverage.
They may not even.
And at what level based upon the risk that's out there. So if you're talking about, as an example, a home plan, are there things that increase the risk? Is it a bigger home? Is it a two-story home? Does it have a trampoline?
Do you have a diving board?
Do you have a diving board? That's right. Do you have a diving board? Is there a slide? Do you have a pool with the diving board and the slide, which would be probably a good idea? If you have pets, what types of pets? Well, if you're a real estate investor that has a company that would like a business owner's plan, a real estate broker, property management firm, independent title and attorney agent, we can help you with that. And you can reach us at 866-798-2827. If you're the similar type of business and you need an Arizona emissions plan or cyber liability coverage, workers' compensation, you can reach us at 866-798-2827. If you're an individual or a family that needs home coverage for your car, flood, wind, auto, motorcycle, we can help you with that as well. And you can reach us at 866-798-2827.
And what if you're an Astros fan?
Well, if you're an Astros fan, you can definitely reach us at 866-798-2827.
Thank you so much, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance. Thank you, John.
Bill, always a pleasure.
And as we wind up the show, she is back. Jennifer Burnley with ERA Legacy Living. Welcome back, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Well, let's tell people as we close the show, what else do you want them to know about what you're doing at ERA Legacy Living or anything else?
Okay, I want to let buyers and sellers know that don't listen to what is going out there on the news, social media, TikTok. Come to a professional real estate agent like me. I will help you, guide you, whatever your needs are. If it's the right time for you, it will happen. If not, we can wait. My number again is 832-315-8642. I'm Jennifer Burnley with the Wincy Group at ERA Legacy Living.
And you bring up something important, Jennifer, and that is that Some people, listen to the news more than others. I
They
try not to. I kind of read the Wall Street Journal, and then I get news filtered through other things or it leaks out. However, if people, the times I'll listen to the national news, they're talking about things on a national level.
Exactly.
And
It's
our
not-
Houston area is very unique. We're still going, right?
Yes, our market is pretty good. It's still what people are focusing on the media. It's national wise. It might be from California, New York, out of the States. So please come to a local professional real estate agent that will guide you through the whole process.
Right. So if you have any questions about the local market where your home is that you might want to sell or where you might want to buy, you better check local like with you.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I do everywhere in Houston, but mainly for Ben.
So Jennifer, besides real estate, when you're in your off time, when you want to relax, what are some of the things you like to do?
I have a 6-year-old son, and I love to enjoy new restaurants and places to go. So whatever it's happening seasonal wise, I love to shop my local restaurants, local vendors, local activities.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. One more time, your phone number is?
832-315-8642.
Jennifer Burnley, ERA Legacy Living. Thank you so much, and it was fascinating to hear about these other places far away, as in Lima, Peru, and Alaska even.
Absolutely.
Come back sometime.
Oh, thank you.
Here he is, Hunter Malik, real estate investor, and so much more. Hunter, as we close things down, here we are. What else do you want people to know about what you're doing, or what other words of advice can you give us in the investing world or otherwise?
Well, we talked quite a bit about investing. I don't want people to forget I also do own a pretty killer real estate team with some excellent agents and some great partners. So if you're
And the name of the team is?
The Bayside Realty Group.
That's right. That's easy to remember.
There is HoustonHomesearcher.com. Put in your information, we'll give you a call.
Bayside. So that way, if someone says, man, I think I want a house by the water.
Mm-hmm.
What if I said I want a condo by the water?
Mm-hmm.
You got that covered.
Yep. Type in thehoustonhomesearcher.com and fill out your information, and we'll give you a call and we'll help you out.
And then once again, those that are listening outside of Houston may not think that we have so much diversity in types of living when we can be living by the water, by the space center of Houston and one of the space centers in the United States. It's unbelievable the diversity we have here of lifestyles. When you want to wind down, if you ever slow down there, Hunter, what do you do to relax? You have a family and all that. Any particular sports or things you like?
Well, I like to sit down and watch the Houston Astros sweep the New York Yankees. So that's about my favorite
That's always
thing in the
fun.
world to do.
And your phone number again is?
713-503-2583.
Hunter Malik. That's 713-503-2583. Thank you, Hunter, for being with us.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, together with John Bramlett, Tom Carpentier, Larry Warren, Justin Ramirez. We appreciate you listening and encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, to our Stewart website, which is Stewart.com/radio. Stewart.com/radio. That's right. You could see and hear this show again. You could see what's happening in the studio. You can go back several years to see all the guests. They're itemized right there on the website at Stewart.com/radio. Thanks for listening. Please tell your friends. We would be honored to be stewards of your real estate transaction. Right there at Stewart Title. You can go to Stewart.com, get your title questions answered. Find out where the Stewart Title office is near you, whether you're in Houston or anywhere else, at Stewart.com. And oh yeah, the full menu of insurance is at StewartInsurance.com. Go there. You will love it. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.